The Israeli-Palestinian conflict basically encompasses four different areas. There's obviously Israel, the Gaza Strip, there's the West Bank, and East Jerusalem.
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine! Am Yisrael! Am Yisrael!
The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the most protracted and contentious struggles in modern history. But when assessing which side holds more power, is it as simple as comparing military assets?
So who are these armed groups? How have they come about? And what are they fighting for?
This video seeks to delve into the various aspects of power, historical, demographic, military, and financial, to provide a holistic view of the dynamics at play. The layers of this intricate narrative beg the question: how do Israel and Palestine compare in terms of strength, and what are the implications of this balance? Historical overview: origins of the armed conflict. The roots of the Israel-Palestine conflict can be traced back centuries, but the contemporary struggle began in earnest in the 20th century. After World War I, the Ottoman Empire's defeat led to the British taking control of Palestine under a League of Nations mandate. Over the years, Jewish immigration to Palestine increased, fueled in part by the rise of anti-Semitic sentiments in Europe and the Zionist movement, which sought a national homeland for the Jews. This influx led to rising tensions between Jewish immigrants and the Arab residents of Palestine. As the Jewish population grew, so did their aspirations for a separate state. These tensions culminated in civil unrest and violent skirmishes throughout the 1920s and 1930s. The issue came to a head in 1947, when the United Nations proposed the partition of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. Despite some opposition, the UN General Assembly adopted the plan. The State of Israel was proclaimed on May 14, 1948, a day before the expiration of the British mandate. Almost immediately, neighboring Arab states intervened to prevent the establishment of Israel, leading to the First Arab-Israeli War. This war, also referred to as the War of Independence by Israelis and the Nakba, or catastrophe by Palestinians, set the stage for the ensuing decades of conflict. Over the next 70-plus years, a series of wars, uprisings, intifadas, and peace processes have defined the relationship between Israelis and Palestinians. The territorial disputes, particularly over areas like Jerusalem, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip, along with deep-rooted historical grievances, religious significance, and national identities, have made finding a lasting peace solution elusive. Demographics and human resources, comparing the populations and military personnel. Demography plays a pivotal role in shaping the capabilities and strategies of nations, especially when considering their military potential. The Israel-Palestine conflict, enveloped within a backdrop of historical and geopolitical intricacies, is also significantly influenced by the demographic profiles of both regions. As of 2023, Israel boasts a population of approximately 9.17 million. This number is not just a testament to its demographic strength, but also highlights its potential pool of military personnel. Israel has a compulsory military service policy, which means a significant portion of its population is trained and available for defense purposes. Out of this population, 646,000 individuals are military personnel, with 173,000 of them being active members and an impressive 73,000 in reserve. The sheer size of the reserve force illustrates Israel's strategic emphasis on preparedness, enabling rapid mobilization during times of conflict. Additionally, the frequent cycles of military service and reserve duties ensure that a large part of its population maintains a certain level of military proficiency. In contrast, Palestine has a population of around 5.37 million. The state's military setup is fundamentally different from Israel's. Palestine has approximately 83,000 individuals as military personnel, and strikingly, all of them are estimated to be active, with no formal reserve force. This difference could be attributed to Palestine's unique geopolitical circumstances, where the need for a constantly active force might be perceived as more pressing. However, the lack of a reserve force could potentially limit Palestine's ability to sustain prolonged large-scale conflicts. Furthermore, The demographic distribution within both regions influences their military strategies. Israel, with a larger aging population, might focus more on technology and mechanization to compensate, while Palestine, with a younger demographic, might rely on the vitality and agility of its youth. Air power comparison. Israel's superiority and Palestine's limitations. Analyzing the air power capabilities of Israel and Palestine provides a lucid depiction of the military imbalance that underscores their ongoing conflict. This discrepancy is not merely in the possession of aircraft, but extends to the technological, strategical, and logistical aspects that define air power's efficacy in modern warfare. Israel's air superiority. Israel, over the years, has meticulously built one of the most formidable air forces in the world, characterized by advanced technology and a comprehensive fleet. With a total of 241 aircraft at its disposal, Israel's aerial strength is not only numerically superior, but also technologically advanced. The Israeli Air Force, IAF, operates 39 F-35 Lightning II aircraft, which are amongst the most sophisticated and powerful fifth-generation fighter jets globally. These jets, known for their stealth capabilities, allow Israel to maintain air superiority by evading enemy radar systems and ensuring successful airstrikes with minimized risks. In addition to their fighter jets, Israel boasts a variety of specialized aircraft, such as 32 surface attack planes, 15 transport aircraft, 153 training aircraft, and 23 special mission planes, which include 4 early warning radar aircraft. The IAF also fields an impressive array of rotary-wing aircraft, including 48 AH-64 Apache attack helicopters and 78 armed or transport helicopters. This versatility ensures that Israel can effectively execute a myriad of operations, from precision strikes and troop transport to training and surveillance. Palestine's aerial limitations. In stark contrast, Palestine has no official air force and thus lacks the aircraft and infrastructure that define aerial military capability. With no fighter jets, transport aircraft, specialized mission planes, or helicopters, Palestine's absence of air power impacts not just its military strategy, but also its defense capabilities. This lack of air assets and control over its airspace significantly restricts Palestine's operational capabilities and hinders its ability to project power, safeguard territories, or contest Israeli air operations. Strategic and tactical implications. Israel's air superiority has a pivotal influence on the strategic and tactical paradigms of the conflict. The IAF provides Israel with the ability to carry out precise airstrikes on strategic targets within Palestinian territories, such as command centers, weapons, storage facilities, and operational units, with minimal retaliation risk. This capability to strike at will and with precision not only has military implications, but also serves to demoralize Palestinian forces and influence the geopolitical narrative. On the other hand, Palestine, lacking in aerial assets, relies heavily on ground forces and asymmetric warfare tactics to counterbalance its limitations. This often manifests in the utilization of guerrilla warfare strategies, leveraging the geographical and societal familiarity to compensate for the absence of traditional military capabilities. The ripple effects. The disparity in air power also cascades into various other facets of the conflict, affecting diplomatic relations, geopolitical stances, and even economic aspects. Israel's significant investment in developing a potent air force signifies not just a commitment to military superiority, but also reflects its geopolitical relationships, particularly with the United States, which has been a pivotal partner in supplying advanced aircraft and technologies. Palestine, conversely, finds itself in a perpetual struggle to attain equilibrium in the conflict without an air force, often seeking alternative means, such as tunnels to transport goods and weaponry, and utilizing more rudimentary weapons like rockets, which have become symbolic of its resistance. Land military assets, tanks, vehicles, and artillery. The land-based military assets of a nation, particularly its tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery, are crucial indicators of its conventional ground combat capabilities. When examining Israel and Palestine, a pronounced disparity becomes evident. reflecting not just their differential investments in military hardware, but also their divergent strategic imperatives and geopolitical circumstances. Israel's ground forces. Israel's ground forces are an embodiment of modern mechanized warfare. With a tradition of facing adversaries on multiple fronts, Israel has made substantial investments in ensuring its ground forces are equipped with state-of-the-art weaponry. 1. Tanks. A flagship of Israel's land assets is its fleet of tanks. The Merkava Mark IV, a main battle tank designed and manufactured domestically, is particularly noteworthy. With approximately 360 of these lethal machines, the Merkava is famed for its advanced armor, firepower, and the integration of the Trophy Active Defense System. This combination ensures that it is not only an offensive juggernaut, but also a defensive bulwark against anti-tank weaponry. 2. Armored vehicles. Complementing its tank fleet, Israel possesses about 56,290 light armored vehicles, encompassing a range of models like the Ashari, Nagmachan, Namer, and Eitan. These vehicles play diverse roles from troop transport to reconnaissance, allowing Israeli ground forces significant operational flexibility. 3. Artillery. Rounding off Israel's ground combat capabilities is its artillery, both towed and self-propelled. With 950 units of conventional artillery and 300 rocket artillery vehicles, Israel can deliver devastating firepower over long distances, providing critical support to its infantry and armored units. Palestine's ground capabilities. Palestine's ground military assets are reflective of its distinct strategic challenges, operating under occupation and blockade conditions and facing a technologically superior adversary. 1. Lack of main battle tanks. Notably, Palestine lacks any main battle tanks in its inventory. This absence is partly due to the restrictions on importing heavy weaponry and the nature of the conflict, where guerrilla warfare and urban combat scenarios diminish the utility of main battle tanks. 2. Light armored vehicles. Palestine's ground forces consist of approximately 352 light armored vehicles. These vehicles, although significantly fewer in number and possibly less advanced than their Israeli counterparts, play a crucial role in the mobility and protection of Palestinian forces in the field. 3. Artillery. In terms of artillery, Palestine possesses about 62 units of conventional towed artillery and an impressive 282 units of rocket artillery. The latter has become a symbol of Palestinian resistance, used frequently in engagements with Israeli forces, albeit with varying degrees of precision and impact. Strategic implications. The chasm in land military assets between Israel and Palestine brings about distinct strategic paradigms. Israel. With its advanced ground forces, Israel can execute large-scale ground operations, enveloping offenses, and rapid defensive maneuvers. The integrated use of tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery allows Israel to establish dominance in open terrains and execute surgical strikes in urban settings. Palestine. Given its limitations, Palestine adopts asymmetric warfare tactics. The absence of tanks is compensated with the use of light armored vehicles in rapid deployment and withdrawal scenarios. The frequent use of rocket artillery, despite its limited accuracy, is as much a military tactic as it is symbolic of defiance. Naval forces. Israel's sea power versus Palestine's non-existent fleet. The naval prowess of a nation is a reflection of its ability to project power beyond its shores, safeguard maritime interests, and assert control over its coastal regions. When it comes to the Israel-Palestine dynamic, the naval disparity is stark and telling, encapsulating the broader geopolitical asymmetry between the two entities. Israel's maritime might. Israel, situated along the eastern Mediterranean coast, has always recognized the strategic importance of maritime supremacy. Its naval forces serve as a deterrent against potential adversaries and a protector of its economic interests, especially with the discovery of offshore gas reserves in recent years. 1. Corvettes. Israel's naval fleet boasts 7 corvettes, which are small warships designed for various roles, from anti-submarine warfare to missile attacks. These vessels, combined with their advanced radar systems and missile capabilities, allow Israel to project significant power in the Mediterranean. 2. Submarines. Israel possesses 5 submarines, which play a multifaceted role. Not only are they crucial for intelligence gathering and deterrence, but they're also rumored to be part of Israel's second strike nuclear capability, providing an essential pillar to its strategic defense doctrine. 3. Patrol vessels. Complementing the larger assets, Israel's 45 patrol boats and gunboats play a pivotal role in coastal defense, interdiction, and safeguarding offshore assets. Palestine's naval void. In stark contrast, Palestine lacks a formal naval fleet. This absence is not merely a result of budgetary constraints, but also stems from geostrategic conditions. The Gaza Strip, Palestine's coastal region, remains under a maritime blockade, limiting its ability to develop or maintain any form of naval capacity. Palestine's maritime operations, if any, are largely clandestine, focusing on smuggling and infiltration, using rudimentary boats and underwater tactics. However, these cannot be considered a conventional naval force by any standard. Nuclear arsenal. Israel's nuclear prowess and Palestine's position. The strategic balance in the Middle East has been shaped not just by conventional military forces, but also by the specter of nuclear weapons. While Israel's undeclared nuclear arsenal has been a subject of international speculation and debate, it adds a unique dimension to the Israel-Palestine dynamic: Israel's ambiguous deterrence. Israel maintains a policy of nuclear ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying the possession of nuclear weapons. However, it is widely believed that Israel has between 90 to 100 nuclear warheads, making it the only nuclear-armed state in the region. 1. Strategic importance. Israel views its nuclear capability as the ultimate insurance policy against existential threats. Located in a volatile region with historic adversaries, the assumed nuclear arsenal serves as a deterrent against any coalition of states that might challenge Israel's existence. 2. Delivery systems. While the details remain classified, Israel is believed to have a triad of delivery systems: land-based missiles, aircraft, and potentially submarine-launched missiles. This provides a robust second strike capability, further strengthening its deterrence posture. Palestine's nuclear position. Palestine, like all of Israel's neighboring countries, with the exception of Israel itself, does not possess nuclear weapons. Given its political, economic, and territorial challenges, pursuing a nuclear program has never been a feasible or strategic option for Palestine. 1. Advocacy for a nuclear-free zone. Palestine, along with other Arab states, has historically supported the idea of a Middle East free of nuclear weapons. The emphasis has been on ensuring regional peace and security through disarmament rather than an arms race. 2. Geopolitical implications. The power disparity between nuclear-armed Israel and non-nuclear Palestine underscores the broader imbalances in their relationship. While Palestine's concerns are rooted in territorial disputes and rights for self-determination, the nuclear dynamic adds another layer of complexity to peace negotiations and regional stability. Financial and military budget, the economic backbone of their military might. Economic prowess is inextricably linked to a nation's military capabilities. The ability to finance a robust defense infrastructure, invest in cutting-edge technology, and maintain an operational readiness is largely contingent on the health of the nation's treasury. In the Israel-Palestine dichotomy, the financial and military budgets of both entities reveal stark contrasts, providing a window into their respective strengths, priorities, and constraints. Israel's defense expenditure. Asterisk magnitude. Israel allocates a staggering sum of approximately $564.003 billion annually to its military budget. This sizable allocation is not only a testament to the country's economic strength, but also to its strategic imperatives, given its geopolitical challenges. Asterisk priority and AMP, technological advancement. Israel's hefty defense budget allows it to invest in advanced research, procure cutting-edge weaponry, and foster a homegrown defense industry, which has produced world-renowned systems like the Iron Dome and the Merkava tank. Moreover, Israel's focus on cybersecurity and intelligence operations necessitates significant financial outlays. Asterisk economic returns. It's noteworthy that Israel's defense investments also yield economic dividends. Its defense industry is a major exporter of military hardware, software, and know-how, effectively recouping a portion of its military expenditures. Palestine's financial constraints. Asterisk scale. In stark contrast, Palestine operates on a substantially smaller economic scale. Its entire nominal gross domestic product, GDP, is estimated at $19.8 billion, of which only a meager $72 million is designated as its estimated annual military budget. This budgetary allocation is a mere fraction compared to Israel's, reflecting the vast economic disparities between the two. Asterisk operational limitations. Palestine's constrained budget restricts its ability to invest in advanced military infrastructure or procure sophisticated weaponry. Most of its military efforts are grassroots, relying on rudimentary weapons and tactics. Asterisk economic challenges. The Palestinian territories, especially the Gaza Strip, face a host of economic challenges, including blockades, restricted movement, and limited access to resources. These economic hardships further strain Palestine's ability to allocate funds for defense. The bigger fiscal picture. Financial capabilities influence the strategic decisions of nations. Israel's economic strength allows it to prioritize defense and security, leading to a technologically advanced and well-equipped military. Conversely, Palestine's fiscal limitations result in a defense posture that's largely reactive and constrained. Potential allies and broader implications. How other nations factor into the equation. The Israel-Palestine conflict, with its decades-long history, reverberates far beyond its geographical confines. Over the years, this deep-rooted dispute has drawn various nations into its sphere, each siding with one party or another based on historical, religious, strategic, or political reasons. Understanding these alliances and international stances is crucial to comprehending the broader implications of the conflict. Israel's strategic allies. Asterisk the United States. Historically, the U.S. has been one of Israel's staunchest allies, providing it with substantial military aid, diplomatic support in international forums, and sharing intelligence and military technology. This bond stems from shared democratic values, strategic interests, and strong pro-Israel lobbying in the U.S. Western nations. While Israel maintains diplomatic relations with many European countries, its ties with nations like the UK, Germany, and France are particularly significant. These nations often balance their support for Israel with calls for a two-state solution and concerns about Palestinian rights. Asterisk emerging alliances. The recent Abraham Accords marked a paradigm shift, with Arab nations such as the UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco normalizing relations with Israel, driven by shared concerns about Iran and mutual economic interests. Palestine's traditional supporters. Asterisk Arab nations. Historically, Palestine has received political and, at times, military support from various Arab countries. Nations like Egypt and Jordan, while having peace treaties with Israel, have consistently advocated for Palestinian statehood. Asterisk Iran. Tehran has been a significant backer of Palestinian groups, especially Hamas. The Shia-majority nation's support for Palestine is partly ideological, opposing Israel's existence, and partly strategic, countering U.S. and Israeli influence in the region. Asterisk international solidarity. Many countries, especially in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, recognizing Palestine as an independent state, express solidarity based on shared histories of colonialism and struggles for self-determination. Broader implications and new dynamics. Asterisk. Regional realignment. As certain Gulf states warm up to Israel, the traditional Arab unity supporting the Palestinian cause seems to be fracturing. This realignment is driven by mutual concerns about Iran's regional ambitions and the potential economic boons of Israeli partnerships. Asterisk proxy engagements. The Israel-Palestine conflict often serves as a stage for larger geopolitical rivalries. Reports of countries like Lebanon and Syria directly participating against Israel underscore the conflict's potential to escalate into a broader regional confrontation. International forums. The conflict consistently features in global platforms like the UN, where nations frequently take sides, either condemning Israeli actions in the occupied territories or opposing moves to grant Palestine full member status. Economic and AMP technological impacts. With the rise of the boycott, divestment, sanctions, BDS movement against Israel, and Israel's booming tech industry attracting global investors, international perspectives on the conflict can influence trade and investment decisions. Humanitarian concerns. The plight of the Palestinian people, especially in places like Gaza, draws global sympathy and shapes the foreign policies of many countries towards both Israel and Palestine.